For sure. So, oh man, how do we like follow in? Like, I feel like the question's still not like straight up answered, but I don't know how to ask, like, or to further this talk about like, working for exposure. Like, what kind of activations are worth doing just for exposure? Like, so for example, let's say there's a very hyped game coming out in the future, and they are inviting a bunch of streamers to go and stream their game before it launches, right? Like, and they invite them to on location to do this big promotion, and everyone's signing up, and
Feel
you like
attacked right
really
now.
want to go. Like, I mean, like, what do you do in that situation?
Yes.
It really depends what you are looking to accomplish from this. So in my experience, broadcasters are looking for if you're going to this sort of event, you're getting an early look at the game. You're getting to show your audience the game before the majority of other folks, and you're working directly with the company. You're hoping to get to play a new video game that's hopefully awesome. Also, you're hoping to meet people that work with this company, right? To network, build those relationships, meet other broadcasters potentially who are also on the project, and network, not necessarily in the business sense, but then also just with the other peers in your community. And hopefully just, build your resume at that point as well. I would say that sort of opportunity is good if you are looking to accomplish those things. Also, you want to do the math too and say, if I'm taking this thing, I'm assuming that you're not being paid for this opportunity. Hopefully, you're not paying, right? They're flying you out, and they're taking care of the airfare and hotel and some amount of meals and that sort of stuff on site, so you're not digging into your own pocket. But do the math and figure out how much money you would make by staying at home and doing your job.
And it sounds like at least a lot of this is a matter of, because as you pointed out, effectively, are you achieving your own goals?
Yes.
But a lot of us have that as, unfortunately, that is unworked. It is sort of ambiguous and amorphous. Which is why I always come back to the whole vision mission thing. It's ambiguous and amorphous, and it's a thing where and I think this is one of the critical issues for exposure, is having a destination or a goal or a variety of them that fit together for what you want to achieve. When that's not there, then any semblance of opportunity is something that we tend to jump on, because we feel like it we feel like it actually will fulfill some goal that's not even defined clearly for us, and then it's sort of a grasping at anything that's there. And to some of the points that I was seeing in the chat, Club Sleep and Vanna talking about how this works in the creative sphere, and then also over here when you end up effectively in a certain light flooding the market with free work. Right?
Yes.
When there are a ton of us who are doing work without pay, then other companies coming into the space, or a new product that's wanting to get pushed, you end up in a situation where my time is definitely super valuable, but Absolutely. They're not going to see it that way because they can get the free work elsewhere. Even if it's non-concomitant, that's how they're looking at it, and then I can't get justifiably paid for that,
right.
For that work.
That's definitely a huge problem that we see right now. I mean, streaming is such a young industry. Companies are just now kind of figuring us out and like, oh, like this is very powerful marketing, like we should be paying for this, right? We're seeing it more and more, but there's still like a lot of geez, what's the word, that just inexperience, I guess, like with being a business, like thinking of streaming and content creation as a business. And so yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. Like we see, and then you get worried that like you're saying no to something,
yes,
because you want to get paid, and now they don't want to work with you ever again, and they're just going to keep going to people that will do it for free, and now you're missing out on an opportunity, and then you're just like paranoid about that, right? So
it builds up a whole weird internal dynamic, and I don't want to diverge in this too much, but it's one of my favorite examples of the invention of halitosis and looking at mouthwash. It was a completely fabricated product for a completely fabricated issue. When they just wanted to take a product and move it to something else and get more sales. The marketing campaign for it was, your friends are talking about you behind your back. You can't disprove that. And it builds up a whole anxiety in you. And then you buy the product and it doesn't resolve anything. You didn't have an issue in the first place, but you sort of build that up on your own. You get that same kind of anxiety with Loka, with the thing that you were just talking about. And this is part of why I feel like this is a particularly vital subject to have publicly, have that public discourse. When we're talking about it and everybody can hear our perspectives and share theirs, we're coming to a common ground that we can share, where our friends aren't talking about our bad breath behind our back. We're all sort of talking about all the things publicly, front